So this question is a diagram question. So usually with diagram questions of this nature, we want to make sure that we're labeling them with every bit of information provided by the question, and then also labeling it with anything that we can figure out on our own en route to finding the answer. So this question says, in the figure shown, points Q, R, S, and T lie on line segment PV. We see those. I always like to stop and just make sure I see what's been described. We see all those Q, R, S, and T. And line segment RU intersects line segment SX at point W. We also see that. We see W here, and we see RU and SX. The measure of angle SQX is 48 degrees. So now we can label that. So SQX is 48. So that would be right here at angle Q. So I'll put a 48 right there. The measure of SXQ, or angle SXQ, is 86. So SXQ is 86. So I'll put an 86 right in there. The measure of angle SWU is 85. So let's see where that is. SWU would be there right at W. So we'll label that as 85. And the measure of angle VTU is 162. So VTU, that's angle T on the outside of the triangle here, and that's 162. So I'll put a 162 right there. What is the measure in degrees of angle TUR? So TUR is right here, so I'll just put a little question mark right there. That's the angle we're trying to find. Okay, so that's the first level of labeling. Our second level of labeling will come from, we can be a little bit smart about this and say, well, if I want to find this angle here, this angle is a part of a triangle RTU. So if I knew what this angle was down here and this angle here, that could be pretty helpful. It's also part of this quadrilateral STUW. So if I knew, again, what this one was and this one was here, then that could also potentially be helpful. But I'm going to just actually start off with, what are the easy angles to determine? I think this first one here is pretty simple because I know this is 162 degrees, and I know that those two angles are supplementary. So this angle here has to be 18 degrees. This has to be at 18 because 18 plus 162 is 180. So that was pretty easy to grab. I also know that this angle here is 85 because those angles are vertical angles, which makes them congruent. Okay, so then what else do I know? I know that, so how about this angle here on this side, right? This angle is part of this quadrilateral. I know that the sum of the four angles of a quadrilateral have to be equal to 360 degrees. So if I go to my calculator, I'm going to go 360 minus this 86 minus the 85 minus the 48. And what I'm left with is 141. So this would be 141 here. But the reason why I liked finding that answer or finding that angle is because then it tells me what this angle next to it is because it's the supplement to that angle. So I know that that's going to be 180 minus 141, which is 39. So this is 39 degrees. Okay. Now that's pretty useful to know, again, because, and I'll just draw this triangle out separately so we can see it clearly. This triangle here, RTU, where U is what we're trying to find. If I now know that R is 39 and I know that T is 18, then I can find U because, again, I know that angles R and T and U have to add up to 180. So go back to my calculator and see, well, what is 180 minus 39 minus 18, because that gives me what's left over, and this must be 123. So angle U, or angle TUR, must be equal to 123.